in the Milwaukee. That means I love you, Milwaukee. Welcome to the Nyumba Upendo Show, my house of love on WNOV 860 AM, 106.5. I am one of your hosts, Kweku Amawasi.
And I'm the other host, Dr.Alisia Moutry.
Hey, sitting there with Ride Out and Debo. You
Of
know it's
course,
going to be
of
the show
course.
today. Hey, Lisa, you know we can't start the show without the P and
You
P's.
got it.
As in tradition of our ancestors, it is customary to get permission from our elders to speak. Mother, do I have permission to speak? Oh, I just needed to hear it again. And we got our second P, which is our prayer. I'm just so excited to have my mama in the studio. We
That's
talk
right.
about our P and P. We done got our permission and our prayer, so I already know this show is going to be what it's supposed to. We always try to, like talk about an ancestor, like whose spirit we want to put this show in. And I was thinking, it's been about a year since Sister Nikki Giovanni transitioned. And when you think about all of the work that she did from an educational standpoint, from just the world, I don't think it was anything more powerful than her poems and things of that nature. But she did an interview with Brother James Baldwin. And anybody know James Baldwin, that man can talk his butt off. Yeah. I'd never seen anybody out talk James Baldwin until I saw her. And she talked about was the way that a black man was supposed to love a black woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when he said, no, I can't do this to you, she said, why you do it to everybody else? Give me that same love. Don't give me your worst, give me your best. And when you hear Nikki speaks, I think the biggest thing, because I was teaching at Wisconsin School of Professional Psychology when the shooting at Virginia Tech happened. And so when you're in a college kind of institution that happens, first you're a little nervous, but she gave one of those speeches that just kind of help calm and bring everything back. And it's not like words can fix everything, but it's the thing that reset to say, okay, we can do this. We can get back.
Sure.
But Ride Out, I would be remiss if I didn't do one thing today. That song by Boys the Man, Mama. Oh, yeah. Mama, I love you.
Yes.
Now, I'm not just saying that because she's here, but this is her born day.
Yes,
So we
indeed.
celebrating the Queen Mother on this
Happy
day.
birthday,
So I just want
Mama.
everybody to give Helen Jean Cockerham Smith Webb some love. I love you, Mother. I love you, Mother. Honestly, we get a chance to always joke about me and my sister, being siblings on here. But you say, we came from a strong woman.
Yes.
And you think about not all of the things that I know you went through, but then become a parent, understanding the stuff you went through, but then let us see.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know how much I love you, how much I appreciate you.
Well, I want to say something too. Is my mama?
No, we're
too.
on for the next
No,
one.
no, I concur with everything that you said, but I want to take the time right now to say, Mama, thank you for being a great example as well. It's your birthday. We're just giving you some flowers today. I would not be who I am today without the example that you set for me. So thank you, Mom, and I love you too.
And what can we say? And I think this is the time. Well, go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Let it go. Let it play. And to just think about life in itself. We have those moments Hey, man, can you just say amen? I say
I heard the harmony over
like
there.
that. Listen, I just feel good and whatnot. Man, I tell you, like, I don't think you can say love and not say mama. I mean, it's just like those are synonymous terms. We was just joking, those are fighting words. When somebody talk about your mama, it's on. That's like we ain't playing no more. Like you done decided.
Your daddy, you'd be like, "That's all right. It's
That's
cool."
okay.
He probably is.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. This is when I knew, Debo. I was talking to this lady, and I said, I done been through every type of pregnancy it is. I said, I done been through a C-section. I done been through a stillbirth. I done been through multiple births. I done been through a regular vaginal birth. She said, you ain't been through nothing.
Right.
I said, oh, you're right.
Right.
When you see what a lady goes through,
Yeah.
We carry them and then we spit them out.
Yeah. Right.
But then they grow in them.
Yeah. Listen.
And the changes hormonally, the changes as far as a protective feature. That's why when we talk about postpartum depression, that depression is like, I can't protect you the way I want to.
Ironically, you went there because Jermaine and I and my wife were just talking about this yesterday morning. We almost lost our baby girl who had given birth, and she had something called post-eclampsia or something like that.
Post-eclampsia.
Yeah, and man, I never knew how close a woman actually comes to dying giving birth.
Oh yes.
Yep. So when you speak to mother and things of that nature, man, that's powerful, man. Yeah, that's powerful.
There is no greater sacrifice that a woman gives to give her body for those 10 months to say, I'm protecting you. Oh, it's powerful.
I always say that it's the closest thing to divinity. I think
it is because you get life.
Yeah, I think childbearing and birth is the purest form of creation creating. Like you said, you receive a seed, you nurture the seed, it creates in you, and you have to go through the war of birthing it into the earth, bro.
Yeah.
And then the war continues when they're on earth. Because you never stop.
You never stop. I was talking to one of the people who I work with, and he was like, my mama keep telling me to call her when I get home because he works security and stuff like that. I said, listen, man, I'm 53. When I land on the plane, I say, Mama, I landed. When I take off, Mama, I'm taking off. Because it's an internal worry, it's an internal concern, but it's something that never stops. You never stop being a mother. You never stop being a parent. But that motherly protection, you think about what Black women go through when they Black son leave the house. Ooh. That is the essence of now what you say, love and protection.
I got 2 boys. You preaching to me. One's here, one's away.
Come on.
It's uniquely that they reach a certain age, right? I think that's the fear of a mother is raising a Black male here in Milwaukee and seeing that they make it past the 18.
Yeah.
I just celebrated a 20-year-old.
Come on.
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
He made me a
You
Jima.
see the pride.
He made me a Jima. His name is Jakari. And I mean, God has heard. I said, you really gonna drop this little handsome, cute dude off on me? But it's always a key feature to tell him to stay focused.
Yeah.
When we had that mama conversation, she said, Mama, I don't think you understand. And I said, I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
I know you got to live for someone else. And just teaching him that from a nurturing standpoint, but also from a man's standpoint. When a woman gives birth to a man, it's a unique relationship. So.
And did you hear that segue? Stay focused.
But this is the thing. See, this is why I love about the guests that we bring in, because we're going to talk about some things they doing for the community. But when you hear the love and the passion in the heart, these are the people you want leading the programs. We kind of heard Michelle talking yesterday, snapping, talking about people come in, they got money, they got titles, but they don't do nothing for the people. But when you got people who are real champions for the people, it's usually because they have a heart for what they've been through in life, what they're going through. And so you already heard the voices. I want to welcome Jeremy Triblet and Africa Lucas coming in from Milwaukee County Behavioral Health Services. We're going to talk a little bit about the Focus Project that you all are doing. We just want to learn a little bit about you and everything like that. We got just a little bit. But tell me what makes Milwaukee special to you, Africa.
Oh, wow. So again, you said my name is Africa Lucas. Actually known in the community like you, Kweku. I go by Afua Afrik, which is female born on Friday. Innovative woman. I bring with me my ancestors, and I like to lift up my grandmother's name, Ethel Lee Bell and Irene Bell, who were my mothers.
Beautiful.
Respect and love.
So, yes, I don't think I'd be the woman I am today without them. But I get the unique pleasure in the county of walking in the work of purpose. That my partner in crime here, Jeremy, seen me doing this work before I saw myself. With focus, featuring our community's untold stories and the significance behind that.
Well, let me pause you there.
Go ahead.
So, what's an untold story for you where you said I didn't see myself in this position, but you've been helping your whole life. So, what's an untold story about Africa, Afua, that where you say this is what really kind of drove me to this? It was like I knew I was made for this.
Oh man. You done stumped me with that one, because I think we're learning with focus that there's power in telling your story. And I think when people tell stories, they feel like it must come from a point of pain, shame, hurt, things of that nature, but they forget the power that the context
Hold on.
has.
Whenever somebody say something good, we be like, you got to rewind that, say that again, because that's what we need to hear.
I think when we say stories, people think it must always come from a point of pain, shame, and hurt. And they forget how much power that stories have. So my power story is I am, and I'm honored to be, a child of an addict mother and an addict and an alcoholic father. And I don't say that in shame, but I say that in power, because my mother is 18 years clean.
Come on.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
We're going to keep praying for 18 more.
That's beautiful.
She's 18 years old. Every time I listen, young lady. But just in that story, we swapped the role of mother and responsibility. I've been here my whole life. I had the privilege of helping rear up my siblings and growing up with my mother, which is a unique relationship between mother and daughter. So our journey together is the same perspective or same journey,
growing together,
but two different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
You have the individual that was addicted to substance, and then you have the children who are exposed to what that looks like in the home. And so it's unique that I get to use lead a project or initiative where we bring those stories in.
So it's real.
We're going to dissect them, but we're going to call out that healing component. We're going to call out the shame is gone when you tell that story. Because if I subconsciously release my story, I give other people permission to do the same. And that's what we want to invoke with this project. So me being able to lead it, and I told Jeremy, I said, I don't know if I'm ready. He said, well, you got to get ready.
He said, you're ready.
You got to get ready.
That's beautiful. Featuring our community's untold stories. No, I'm just saying with focus, if you look at the acronym, featuring our community's untold stories.
No, I was just going to say, she keeps mentioning her partner in crime, and all of a sudden he comes in, he's over here harmonizing with me when singing. Jeremy, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And we're just curious about what makes Jeremy focus on who he is.
Man. So very
award-winning Jeremy Triplett. So he couldn't come last week because he won a great award. I just got, you can give him some applause for that, Jake. Right? Hey, no, seriously.
Leader of the future.
Leader of the future. And I don't think just leader of the future, leader of today and tomorrow. So not just the future, the leader of today and tomorrow.
Respect that, big bro. Yeah, it's I got to start in the world similar to what Africa's story is, right? And we bonded over that. Me, I was born 3 months early.
She had a preemie too.
So. Yeah. And so the doctor looked at my mom and said I was going to die. And so by the time I get out of the hospital, my mother is now using crack cocaine. And so when we talk about postpartum, sometimes we don't have the language to explain the pain.
Come on.
So when you talk about featuring our untold stories, Africa saying you need to start telling your story, it starts with admitting you have to start telling your story while you're in it. Many times we want to wait till the story's over with. We got the trophy.
The before and after. You just want to show
W. We out here, right?
We want the triumph.
Yeah. We want to put a little
see what's
something
going
on social media and be like, this was me 10 years ago. This is me now. Nah, the healing comes when you learn to heal in real time.
Right.
And so she didn't have that language, right? And so my first 4 years in the world was rattled with every kind of what they call risk factor, ACE factor, trauma. Talking about going through hell and feeling all the rain. We was literally dragging crates down the street. And I'm screaming in one room into the next room because we're all in foster care trying to figure out what my sisters are, right? And so there's so many of those moments. One of the things that I love, though, is, to Africa's point, my mother always told us her story. So I am not a product of her trauma. I'm a product of her triumph.
Come on, Jeremy.
She literally, when she went to the 12-step club, they be smoking cigarettes in the meeting, and I'd be in the back playing the video game.
Right.
So I'm from
I went to the
spaces.
12-step club.
Listen.
But it's part of social healing. Like she can't just heal without healing the child. It's a family healing process.
You're right.
Man, we went to the 12-step club in the meetings. You better stop playing. My children went. Where you going to? 12-step club?
12-step club.
She about to get her a cup of coffee.
You're right. We are healing together. We are recovering together. And so
that whole self.
Yeah, Africa says it all the time. This is not a who did drugs in your family.
Right.
This is our family has experienced the effects of drug use.
Yes.
Let's show up like we show up with our ancestors. We show up with our relatives too.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
No, I love this. And what I think about this is I remember I first heard your story last year. We were at Clinton Rose, Empower and Aziz and them had put together this great program, but it was dealing with the holidays and depression, and then how that brought on different drug use and things of that nature. And we was like, what can we do as a community to come together? And I remember when you were sharing your story down there, I was like, I always was impressed with you. I always knew you was a great speaker. I heard you speak at Alverno one time at one of the conferences there. But that was the first time like I saw your heart and your passion. And I was like, no. And that's when you say, that's the person I want to work with. These are the people when you say,
that's what I told
you want to collaborate with. Because you said we like-minded. These are people who've been in the trenches, and I know why you're not running. You're not a hireling. You are the shepherd that care for, and it's not this sheep, but us sheep. So it's all of us together. So when I think about this, who brought up focus in the first place? Like who invented this title and said, we know the data is important, but we need a story that animates this data.
You want me to tell the back story, and then you can talk about how you came up with the
So go back to the passion. That's one thing Jeremy told me when he met me. You can't teach passion to do this work. I just want to. That's just significant.
That's important. You're right. Yeah. So there's two origin stories.
Okay.
The first one was we had been doing work at the county. I had been there for about 3 years, and they literally asked us, what work do we need to do? And we were thinking about it as a group. And what I told them was we need to start doing community-led, research-based initiatives, and we start throwing around ideas.
Community-led.
Right.
Come on. I don't want that to fall on people. Right. Usually the people who have no idea what the problem is are trying to create solutions.
Yes.
So when you have community-led, this is the people who say, this is what we need. We can tell you what we want.
And here's how it went, right? When you hire a black boy from 41st and Keith, I'm coming with some people that I literally have to answer to.
Yeah,
that's right.
So that shows up. And when I tell people about changing organizations, we say organizations like it's a building that's making decisions. When we actually mean is there are people in the building who are making decisions.
That's right.
So when you change the people, you change the policy.
Come on.
When you change the people, you automatically change the policy. So the first thing when I show up with my life experience, I'm gonna create things that impact the people who share those same experiences.
Yes.
So we talked about that. Then when we talk about the hiring process, we always want to hire people who are not just good at their jobs. I can teach you a skill.
Yeah.
But Africa said it best. If you got that passion and that hunger, I'm here for you. We was in the Pick and Save parking lot.
Which one?
Oh, where was that? In Glendale.
In Glendale.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I said, you should apply for this job. I can't guarantee you're going to get it.
Nope, sure did.
But I have an eye for, there's a gut that tells me.
Yes.
This person right here, I see something. They've demonstrated something. We need their spirit with the work, not just their mind with the work.
You was chosen, not just selected.
No, we talk about it all the time. The energy, the intention, and the spirit you bring is the work. We've all met somebody smiling, they happy, but when they leave, the room don't light up. When they enter, your heart doesn't connect. So when we hire at the county, remember when you hire new people, you get new stuff.
Yeah.
We're coming in community. So when I hire people, I'm not just listening to what your resume said or what you said in the interview. I'm trying to figure out what's your intention.
Right.
What am I feeling when I talk to you? Because what I found out is when you're working with Black, brown, and indigenous people, they're going to feel you before they see you.
That's right.
Yes.
We got grandmamas who wake up in the middle of the night and say, don't you go down to that radio station. I don't know who's going to be there, but you ain't going to be there, right?
Hey, listen, I
That
just
just
got
happened
back from
this
the
week,
DR. My mama said, "Don't you go in that water." And all my people in the water. I said, "I can't go in the water." I said, "Cause if I go in the
Mama said
water,
it
And something happens. Mama told me.
Look, I need a break. I need a moment
listen.
right now, boy. You done hit a nerve. Hey, listen, we're with the prevention integration manager Jeremy Triplet and the health prevention coordinator for Africa Lucas on WNOV Nyumba Upendo. We're going to be right back on the other side. WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. In Jackson, two major black holidays no longer be part of the National Park Service's fee-free days. Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Juneteenth, which were included in the 2025 calendar, have been removed. In their place, the Trump administration has announced a new set of what it calls resident-only patriotic fee-free days for 2026, including President Donald Trump's birthday on June 14th. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum said the changes are meant to prioritize U.S. taxpayers and ensure that international visitors contribute more to the cost of maintaining parks. Now, the decision regarding the fee-free days raises Upendo on WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM with Kweku Dr.Alisia Moutry. We're here with Africa Afua Lucas and Jeremy Triplett. You know what? We were talking about the focus right before we left, and you were talking about the origin story, but you said it was two. You kind of gave us one. Kind of go into the record to the second part of that.
Yeah, the second part is so we said kind of, that me and Jeremy kind of orbited each other in our work history. And that's the unique thing about divine timing is it aligns just perfectly when it needs to be. And so when he seen me, I was definitely tired. And he was like, I have the work for you. But my job, it's not easy getting county. So me and Jeremy didn't just meet, he handed me the job. Yeah. So no, it didn't work like that.
Fight for that joker.
Yeah, they do 50 applicants. They narrow it down to 15, then it's down to 2, and then you battling against
but
somebody.
What's for you?
No,
it's for you.
For me. Listen. So I think I'm a toot my mic drop. At the end of my slide, I said, "Oh, I need a picture of someone with a story, and they need to have this disparity." And I said, "Girl, you is it?
That's the picture."
So in the picture, I dropped the picture and it me at 12 at the end of my slide. And it said, and Afua means I'm surging to become something needed in my community at the right place and the right time to do the right work, right? And I believe in
divine
the work of
alignment.
service. Yes, yeah. So mic drop. She gets in there. She in there. Girl in the house. It's over with now. But when we were looking at the real technical term for the grant is prevalence of adulterants in Black and brown communities. And I was like, I can't really. Exactly. I can't talk to people like, yeah, I'm over the prevalence of adulterant in Black and brown communities grant. They're going to be like, first off, give me the definitions of them two words, prevalence. So simply is increase. Adulterants is additives, something added into something else. And right now we know within the drug supply here in Milwaukee County and community, we've been affected by opioids. Right?
Fentanyl ain't no joke.
Fentanyl, xylazine, all those good things. So when we were looking at it, I wanted something that at first I had to tell them like, no, opioids wasn't a Black person drug. Now I grew up through the cocaine epidemic, right? It was crack cocaine. But they're saying, and the numbers are showing that it's a staggering amount. And right now in the opioid epidemic, it is only showing white faces. And when we say that, meaning if I resonate with the cocaine epidemic, that I know any other people who are Black and brown in my community is thinking the same, but the face is changing. It is affecting us in our Black, brown, and I added in indigenous communities because our needs of those are different. And so when we were looking at it, I think I was brainstorming and I came up with the us. Because I didn't want it to just be it's them, it's white, it's brown,
see, that's
it's
the
Black.
pedagogy of the oppressed. What you're saying, it's us.
It's us
all
thing.
of us together.
Okay. If it affects you, it affects me, and it affects our community. It affects our future generation. It affects us. And I didn't want it to just be like, nah, it's Black and brown. No, it affects us.
Everybody.
And so we had it a long time ago. Me and Jeremy had landed on the spirit of it a long time ago. And then we shot it to our boss, and then she shot it back. And then we waited like a couple of months, and we was like, no, we need to rename it Focus. And we did it. And I wanted the magnifying glass because I wanted Focus to start. Not only it's a 2-part series to it that we'll talk about called Amplify, but the magnifying glass within the logo is saying we're going to zero in on these drug use trends among our Black, brown, and indigenous communities. And we're going to say, let's talk about it. Right. We're going to talk about the harm that it's causing, but let's talk about how we can continue to heal and using our stories to heal us. And that's where Focus kind of was born. And we just pinned in the acronym featuring our communities, Untold Story, because they're at the heart of it.
You know what I love about it? And when you said that, I was watching TMJ4 just one night and Gideon Verdine.
Love Gideon. Thank you, Gideon.
Yeah. No. It was you, Aziz, and Gideon, and then it was a peer specialist,
Otis Winstead.
And when Otis started talking, he was like, "This is something we don't want to talk about, but we got to talk about."
We got to talk about.
And when they talked about the ages, it wasn't like young people. This was like more than middle age, and that was like where we see the prevalence of this. So you say when you say yes, us, this is not just the young people, but when we talk about us, we gonna pause on us and get to the community to get the other part of us on. We got to call her.
I was going to say, bro, we got a caller. So caller, you got a question or a comment? You got to turn your radio down
just a little bit.
What'd you say?
Turn your radio down. We're getting a little reverb back from your thing. We want to make sure we hear you clearly.
I've got it.
Oh, if you're on speakerphone, come on speaker.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, King.
Can you hear me or you can't hear me?
We can hear you. CAN.
Okay. When you talk about the opioid situation, and you talk about it's been a white man thing, basically it was never a black man. Well, if you go back to the 30s and the 50s, the 50s really, it really hit us hard. If you go out to Harlem and all that, heroin has always been around, but what it is that they put a cap on it, and they slowed it down. So what we're dealing with now, when I've seen all the white people dying from heroin, and we were running around beating on our children, they ain't gonna let us. Look, when we had to act crack, they didn't let us do nothing. I mean, they didn't help us. But this was all a ploy, people, to sacrifice the degenerates of their people to actually get it to us. And guess what? We're dying in a phenomenal number, and we've been dying with a phenomenal number. Even when the white people were doing it, you see what Donald Trump and them came up and did. They came up with something called the Good Samaritan Act. Okay, when our governor Evers would not even allow us to get the testing strips in our community. It was illegal. A couple of years ago, it was illegal to get busted with one of them testing strips. Man, you going to jail with a felony. Okay, so this is something that we have to look into, and we have to quit treating it as a us situation, talking about grabbing these other people in, because this is a black thing and it's targeted. This thing is hitting harder than any crack because it's claiming real lives. Crack was a thing that put us in prison. This stuff is killing. That's why we got these flyers out right now that we designed. Is your dope boy? Is your connect a serial killer? You know, we really want to get this up in Billboard because the guy that's serving is really a serial killer, man. He don't know how many bodies he got on his bag. And if you got over 2 or 3 bodies, you considered a serial killer. And this heroin, I've got friends that have died. So heroin is a serious situation. I'm not interested in the Spanish people or whatever, any other people besides us that have experienced this experience in Black America. That's where I'm at. So they wanted us to turn our heads and think it was just a white boy thing. But all the time they was coming after us.
Meech, same way with the COVID. I didn't know where you might go. I didn't know where you might go with this, but you was on point with that. You was on point, Meech. And I'm gonna tell you, when we talk about heroin, I think about the brothers coming back from Vietnam and whatnot like that, and how it was a thing. But now when you start talking about what is mixed with the additives and everything like that, the only kind of pushback I give them is 2 things. We got to look out for everybody. Right. That's what I always thought. That's what made Black people so magnanimous. People say they look out for themselves. They look out for themselves. We've always been, because we are the mother or we are the beginning of civilization. So we look out for everybody, and it may make us look like we soft or we weak or we too helpful. I said, but that's what makes us. And even when I hear you say focusing, on our stories, you say we talking about Black, brown, and indigenous, but I've seen you present, and I've seen the people who you presented to. This is open. Those harm reduction vending machines is for anybody.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. The other thing is, when we say us, I think of it as a multi-tier. If I say us, I automatically mean me. When I say us, I automatically mean who I'm looking in the eyes of. When I say us, I automatically mean my family, because I am, because we already are. Yeah. When I say, right, it's Ubuntu, right? So us, the power of it is it does start with you, but it requires you to be in community in order to succeed. I cannot do it just for me, because if the house down the street is on fire and don't nobody put that joker out,
it's coming out.
Your house gonna start burning. And so I think, when we think about survival, we don't think about this epidemic in a scarcity mindset. We're not saying if we got it, you can't have it. We're saying because we already have the healing, we're going to use it. Right. See, the issue that we have is many times we've become disconnected from the healing of the work. So we accept the pain that we've given. When I start healing, I look at substance use differently. Yeah. But when I don't feel like I have options, resources, community, or connection, it becomes my savior. And so a lot of this is the psychological work of going, we are enough. We are community. It's about us. And when we do this work from the inside out, we start deciding how drug use impacts our communities instead of becoming a quote unquote victim of what somebody else puts in our communities.
Correct. I think, historically, and he did bring back, the cocaine epidemic, and we know that. But when you look at the historical context of it, it was at first, cocaine was an elite substance, drug use substance, right? So what I've learned through my community engagement here in Focus, when you go and you look at the Asian community, I think Lo Nang at Hmong American Friendship Association said it the best. He said, in our culture, so Focus is not just bringing in what's going on now, it's bringing in the cultural context of it. What's the mindset around substance use? He said in our culture, opium was used for healing.
Yeah.
See?
Opium was used as
In
a
the
form
East,
of
it was.
medicine. At what point did it become where opium? And when we say opium, we're saying the oxycodones, we're saying the xylazine, we're saying the fentanyl. We're not just saying the heroin and meth. We're saying, at what point did that shift change? How can I help us in the Hmong community who once culturally viewed this substance in a certain kind of way?
Yeah.
And when speaking to them, I think a lady from the Laos church said, you guys speak up. We didn't know culturally that if they know that a loved one in their family died as a result of overdose, they won't receive that dowry at their funeral. They won't have support of their community to bury their loved one because it's shamed upon, because they were taught that they don't talk about it. But they also in a cultural context looked at it as a form of medicine in the past. And the only thing she could tell them was prevention is before death. And we think of prevention as afar off, right? We think of harm reduction as meeting them where they're at. And I asked her, I said, well, how do they know their loved one died as an overdose? She said, when the doctor comes in and tell them, that's when it's too late.
And did you have a question?
No, I'm always thinking about, I'm the teacher in me. There may be some people that just joined us. So we're talking about Focus, featuring our community's untold stories. In a nutshell, can you just say again, like, what is it that the program does? Like, what do you do? If you had to, you saw me in the elevator and you had to explain to me quickly about what Focus does. What does it actually do?
Got you. It's 3 parts. Okay. We have a qualitative researcher, which is Empower. They are researchers going into the community and conducting focus groups and interviews with individuals in the Black, Brown, and Indigenous community.
Can I applaud you there? Because when you say empower, I think of Imani, I think of Raven, I think of Aziz. And when I see these 3 young people come together and what they do, and I just think about this summer, like they had like episode after episode after episode, and you saw people from every different spectrum. So when you got people, you say talking about us, that brings everybody in together. I just can't speak more loudly and more boldly and beautiful about what Empower does for our community.
But that's Focus is intentional. So that's an intentional qualitative researcher.
I'm still in the elevator.
Minority owned. Okay. But my elevator pitch is we got focus groups and interviews going on where we want to hear from people like you. We're going to hear from people like you who have had drug use experience, whether it's historically, whether it's current, whether you're in active recovery, or if you know a family or individuals that have experienced something as it relates to this opioid epidemic. We want to hear from you. I want you to reach out to Empower for me.
There we go.
The second part is going to be a health media campaign, but it's going to be driven by the insight from the individuals in the community.
The community-driven, community-led.
Yes, absolutely. Right, and then you got a data. We got to do the data part, right?
Absolutely.
Because data helps us drive policy change. No, so we need those numbers.
Can I speak to that piece? Because that's my favorite part.
Go ahead, Jeremy. That's your piece.
You always challenge the system before you challenge the people.
Come on.
So when I say data on our team, what I mean is Milwaukee County is about to change something about itself so that we can rightfully utilize those stories that we do not have the rights to. Let's be clear. These stories are sacred. We're talking about lives and experiences. So if you bless us with your story, we commit to changing something about us that helps you heal. We won't just grab the data to say we did something. And that's the part about Focus that I love the most.
Thank you. My goodness.
You had a third part?
Oh, so the other part is the amplified community gatherings. In 2026, Focus will lead community engagements circling around those Black, Brown, and Indigenous categories. We want to look at what's happening. If we say Black, as our caller did, are we looking at the overdose or the drug use trend among older adults? Are we looking at our youth? Are we looking at they have polysubstance use? When we say Hispanic and Latino, what are we saying is their drug use trends within their family? When we say Indigenous, what are we looking at? When we say Hmong, maybe they need awareness raising. So Focus allows a broader scope to look at what's going on in those subgroup categories. Let's listen to them, and then let's have real life solutions.
Come on. Callers, we see you on the line. We're going to come back to you right after we come from a break. We got to hit a break, but when we come back, we're going to get to the callers and finish talking on focus. You're listening to Nyumba Upendo on WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. That's the House of Love, WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We're talking about the focus group. We're talking about how do we do healing from a voice of passion, a voice of concern for our community. And we got the community on the line. Caller, you're on. Nyumba Upendo, you got a question or a comment?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I got an echo in my phone, but I'm gonna try to get through this in as short a time as possible. I just want to say that I don't believe all white people are the devil, but I do believe that whites in business 300, 400 years ago, coming through China, wanted to learn the presence and the power of opium and addiction. And I think that there are people in our community who also want to take advantage of the weak and the sick and those in pain, physical pain, emotional pain. But you're the two people you have on the show today are part of the solution. And I say to the brother there in black, you're a miracle baby, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you know what? And see, this is what I love about the community, because sometimes it's just a question, sometimes it's a comment, but it says that there's hope. Because you know, you just hear that, you always say, okay, it's people talking about the problem, and then it's people out there who's adding to the problem. But who's gonna do something about it?
Right.
And so going back like to where you talk about, you said we're doing something about it. But what are some of the things where you say not only we're doing something about it vocally, these are some of the things you talked about, those 3 stages. I want you to give me something specifically that you've done already where you say, you know what, we're already seeing the seed that we planted already, some of the fruits of it come up, and the possibilities are even brighter because of what we see.
Right. I'll go back to the focus groups. It's unique because these are in settings where it's people in recovery. It's with women who are dealing with sex trafficking with the Benedict Center. We've been with Matt Talbot and Detox. Just we're going into the spaces where you don't always go to get the answers, right? But we're in the spaces where it's the people who are affected by it the most. And what we've seen in real time is these people are like, they're actually doing something about it. We actually empower them with the questions, but we're looking to get the grit from the answers that they're giving. And then they want to know, how can they be involved with Focus going into the new year? And it's like, you're already there and you're going to travel this journey with us with Focus. I think the brother and the caller on the line who said, we are the solution. We're just part of it, right? I'm just a conduit to help bring it about, but it's really the community. They're the solution to, what we feel is going on in the community.
And
Go ahead.
Africa did an event where about 80 different people showed up. And she did it at the Her Wellness. Shout out to them.
Her Wellness.
And what happened was the energy in the room was healing.
Yes.
Right. So you had indigenous folks. They were doing smudging.
Come on.
They invited you. They covered their hands. They brought in their culture to talk about the issue.
We acknowledged the land. It was on
We acknowledged the land. There was a children's fire.
Yes.
It was all type of stuff. And that was the first time I've ever seen what usually is a clinical and scientific process be effective with a heart and a cultural process.
Intentional, cultural honor.
Cultural honor, right? And so you're seeing all this happen, and we're hearing audio stories of people in recovery. And we're being able to speak back to that audio experiences. We're sharing those stories. What I had realized in that moment was that many of the physical reactions we're having to our story is that it's been in our bodies for so long, it decays us.
Yes.
And when we get into a space where we can release, we've had events where people were doing Reiki at the event. People getting massages at the event. And so one of the things that we've been doing is integrating healing modalities as a part of the work. It is not extra. You ain't got to go to a special conference for it. It is the thing we're doing today.
Holistic.
We're going to talk about business, and you're finna get a massage.
I love that. One of the things you all do is you say we're going to get expertise, but not just expertise from degrees, but also expertise from experience, lived experiences. I know we got a caller. I want to keep asking y'all questions.
But can I just say this real quick? I think the caller was right on the money. You're part of the solution. You are helping to facilitate the focus, and I'm just so grateful that you're here. We do have a caller on the line. Caller, do you happen to have a comment or a question?
No, I have a comment pertaining to the young man that says he was born to crack cocaine. I give you your flowers, young man, because So was one of my family members, you know, but it was rough. You know, I know what you went through, and I was there to help my mother with her, even though I'm not a product of a baby being born, but I am a product of that disease. You know, I got 7 years clean.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Giving honor to God, and also I'm staying clean for myself. You have to do it for yourself. And I appreciate that you saying what you're saying to people like me, you know, because it's hard. It's very hard to stay away from that drug because it calls you on a constant. But, you know, if you're determined to stay clean and get clean, it'll happen.
That's right.
It'll happen, you know. And my mother, she wanted to see her last children that was addicted clean. And we didn't do it for her. We did it for us.
You got
and
to.
right now today, all three of us are still clean.
That's
Beautiful.
And y'all got
All three of
community,
us
a natural
still clean.
community.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Moutry, I looked at the time, and the time is
It's
ticking and
unbelievable.
ticking. But I want to make sure it's just because I'm going to steal your line where she always do. She said, you know what? We love to talk about what's going on. But what's the action items? When people leave here, the people who want to help, the people who want to join, the people who want to say, hey, how can I become a part of this community and my hurt becomes a part of the healing? What are some action items that you said, this is what we need and want from the community?
I would say go follow us on our landing page, but my partner in crime has to help draft it, Jeremy.
It's coming.
But it's coming. But when you see Focus, when you see it popping up, you can also go
And remind us, what does focus mean again?
featuring our communities, untold stories. That means you, that means us, that means we, right? We're inviting you and the public to join us in 2026 for our amplified community gatherings, where we're going to focus on Milwaukee's drug use crisis. We want to create intentional spaces, community-led panels, and real-time healing when you tell your story. So you'll be able to see some of the stuff coming out. You'll see it online. You'll see some of the marketing. Follow us. What else can we say about it, Jeremy? I don't know.
So we have a Facebook page, Milwaukee County
Yeah.
Prevention and Harm Reduction. You can always go and follow that page. Community events. One of the things we do is not only will Africa be amplifying the stories amongst the stories next year, but we also amplify the solutions amongst all of our community. So we're always sharing that information if you go to that Facebook page as well. And you can also go to we have we have websites as well. We have betterways2cope.org. If you're looking for a better way to cope with life challenges,
In general,
you can go there and find resources and organizations that are ready to help you. We also have Harm Reduction MKE.org. And so that's a website you can go to that allows you, if you're looking to get substance use recovery help or just reduce the likelihood that you'll die while you're using, you can go there and find life-saving supplies. And in 2026, Africa will be featuring the Focus website as well, focus.org. That's going to provide you with, if you're Black, Brown, and Indigenous, and you want to utilize your story as a weapon for healing self and community, then that's going to be coming in 2026 with the Amplify events.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So can I I'm going rogue here just real quick, just a little bit, because we typically kind of talk about what we're going to talk. I'm just curious, like you're doing some great work. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to push you a little bit now to say, if in fact you do this work and you know that you're doing and you're seeing what you want to see, what is it that would let you know that you had success with what you're doing? And it's got to be quick because we got like 1 or 2 minutes.
In the words of Shakita LeGrant McClain, in Milwaukee County, we want to be together, creating healthy communities, together creating better ways to cope, and together creating better ways to heal. That's it. In a nutshell.
Well, this is the thing, because now we heard what the director said. I want to hear what you all say. What is the gem that you want to drop on the people, as far as if it's just something from life that inspires you, or if it's something that you've got from Focus or any other project that you've done, you say, I want to leave this with the community on their heart.
I would tell the community, Focus is for you. Focus is because I see you. And Focus is because we want to hear from you. And we want to help you focus on healing within you. That's me. That's what Focus is.
I would say it's working. And I think that is a mind shift. It is working. There are more resources in community that work.
Yeah.
There are more people having the conversation, and they're having it the right way. And there are some people out here who are literally recovering, literally sustaining. There are people who are transitioning the way that they think, they feel, and they live. We have the data. Just this year, we've literally given out 75,000 resources that help save lives, like Narcan, fentanyl test strips, and condoms. We've seen on a national scale that overdoses have reduced by 30%. 30%. That makes sense. It's working, is what we're saying. And so when people think about the issue, now you have a responsibility to remember that the solution comes with it. You cannot sit around and go, dang, I wish we had this. We ain't got that. You know what? It's a problem that can't nobody solve. There are people who have been impacted by the problem who are being the solution.
Yes.
So join the fight because we're winning it.
Yeah. I love it. I got to take some of his words, like, right, I just heard. So I'm taking your quote, but I'm adding it to it, okay? So you said when you change the people, then you change the policy. And then I want to say, then that helps you to change the priority for the people. You can take that, all right? All right, I got priority for the people.
Yes. That's what focus does.
Power is with the people. Listen, we're running out of time, and Al Sharpton coming in hot. So we got to say goodbye on Nyumba Upendo. Oh, we just gave us a little bit more time. I guess they're going to push Al back just a little bit. Well, this is what I want to say with this. When we come through this whole thing, as a person who sits on the county board, I'm always a little bit nervous about the budget. Because we have a great program, and we know with the beautiful big bill, everything that's coming in 2026. How are you solidified with the money to be able to sustain this? And if money is taken away, what can we do to say, even if they don't grant us this is how we still keep it moving?
So the unique thing about Focus is it actually came from the opioid settlement funds. So Wisconsin decided to take on that task against Big Farm. So this is not federal. This is not state funded. It can be as uniquely DEI. Oops, sorry, I did say that. As possible, and as intentional as possible, and as cultural as possible. So that's the unique thing about Focus is it sources not from our normal sourcing funding sources, but we still want to be as intentional about how we use it.
Yes.
And that's the unique thing about it.
The second thing is when you talk about, we use the word sustainability. One of the things that I'm excited about when it comes to the county's prevention initiatives, we always do it in partnership with the community because then the work that they experience lives on through them. It's sustainable when 1,000 people understand how to cope in a better way, when 1 million people understand what it means to do harm reduction, when thousands of people understand what it means to focus on your story and use it as a healing modality, then you don't need money to be in community.
Come on.
Right.
And so when you partner with community, you make it sustainable because the thing that started off as a program now becomes a lifestyle.
Right. And this ain't just a campaign.
What can we say? Hey, I just want to thank.
Right there.
I want to thank my mama Daisy for producing my mama, and I want to thank my mama Daisy for the words that we use to close this show. And I think it's so fitting. The best way to heal yourself is to help others. Come on, this is what we do. You've been listening to Nyumba Upendo on WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We're gonna see you next week, Milwaukee. We love you.